Everyone retweeting stuff. Good evening and welcome to tonight's episode 9 of our second season of the main podcast. I'm joined by Luke. You all right, Luke?
Good evening.
Joined by Jay.
Good evening.
And by Carl.
Hello.
I tell you what, I'm gonna play intro and let's see if we can be a bit more upbeat when we come back. Hello.
Hello.
Stuff. It feels like ages.
And it does that intro, Gilly, your cartoony picture. I still think you look like you've sat on a drawing pin.
All right.
Nice to see you after so long too, Gilly.
Thanks. Cheers. It's been ages since we see each other. You still sat on a drawing pin?
I'm only better.
So a bit of catching up to do. So it has been a while since we got together. So just a bit of a recap on what happened previously. So we did have the Watford game, which all of us went at, I think. This one.
Yeah.
So enjoyable game because we got 3 points. We'll not get too deep into it, although we can cover it quickly. But just to run through the results. So we did have lots of points scored on this one. It's the highest scoring game we've had so far, funnily enough, given that we won it. What's really, really disappointing is that Adam's into double figures.
Fuck off.
He's on 11.
What a douche.
The fans are on 6 in second place.
It's just...
And closest after that is Rex, Carl, Luke, Cy Johnson, Smarty and Beckett all on 3 points.
Take it.
Bren on 2 points. Me, Jay, and Stats on 1, and Render on 0. Taking my only point off myself.
Did Bren win it last year?
Shit together.
Bren did win it last year, and he's currently in 9th.
Fucking sound.
But we've got to do something about Adam. We can't be having that.
Yeah, how can the king of shit takes be leading the table? Do you know what I mean? I'm not happy about that. It's making the rest of us look bad.
Yo, Bren.
There's a different Bren that's just saying hello, lads.
Fucking hell, there's another one.
This one's funny.
Just to does anybody want to talk the Watford game? We
can't remember.
Didn't do a B and C. We got the 3 points.
Me and you were meant to be doing B and C, but we're that hammered on the Saturday night.
We just
that I'm talking about.
That's it. We'll move away from that then. So it's been the international break. Thank God that's nearly done with. Who wants it? So we'll not come to Carl for the England update. Jay, I'll come to you for this one. You got any input? Have you watched the games? Do we even care without Calvin in?
You're coming to the guy that didn't watch the match last night.
Call yourself a fan.
Oh mate, do you know what? Normally I do watch the qualifiers, but I had stuff on last night, and just by the time I realised what was going on, they were about 60 minutes in. I just thought, I can't be fucking arsed now. It sounded like it was a shit show from what I heard. Apparently Kane were crap, and
Shut the fuck up if you didn't watch it then. Fuck's sake.
Mate, I'm just saying what I've heard.
Go on then, Luke. We'll come to you. Did you watch it?
Didn't watch it, mate.
Fucking hell.
I'm only kidding. I did watch. I watched the majority of it, but we just. I commented on Twitter last night. We looked like Jap Stam's Reading of a few years back. And it was just boring. They were passing it left to right at the back, and it was fucking tedious to watch. It was horrible. It was shit game to watch. And Luke Shaw with his stupid fucking foot in the air to give a penalty. Whoever taught him to do that one's fucking shooting. But yeah, it was crap, wasn't it? And they looked completely out of sorts without Calvin in there. It almost identified how pivotal he is now to any team that he plays in. I mean, we knew it anyway, but you take him out that England side, and they were clueless.
That can't be
So
right, because, according to Twitter, he's rubbish.
So I'll just touch on that point. How much of it is... I mean, Calvin's a big loss to any side he plays in. We know that how good he is. So he's a big loss to any side he plays in. How much of it is not having Calvin, even though you've still got a player I rate in Rice, and Calvin can play that role. Rice plays that role for West Ham. How much of it is not having Calvin, and how much of it is having to have Southgate?
Can I comment?
Point, innit? Yeah, I reckon. I think probably a bit good mixture of both. I think if you put anybody else in Southgate's position, then he got, we go and absolutely fucking thrash him last night. So look, it's a game that we should be absolutely fucking winning. Since 8 days from 7. Hungary are a bang average side, if that. At home.
They were 28-1 with the bookies to beat us.
They didn't beat us, Jeff.
No, I know, but they didn't fucking lose either, did they? The odds show that we should have fucking walked it, and we didn't.
That's got to be one of those fucking shit takes already for this season.
How was it?
They were 28-1 to beat us, but they didn't lose that either.
Yeah. What I'm saying is, by those odds, we should have walked it. And
somebody make it make sense.
Mate, if you don't understand that, then you want to go back to remedial class.
Carl, did you watch it?
I didn't watch it, no.
But you wanted to have a comment, though. So.
No, but what I was
He's always got a comment.
What I was going to say was just like going back to your Rice or Southgate point. I think Rice, he doesn't look as decent as people make out without Calvin there to help him out.
Fuck off, get Bruce on.
Just for West Ham.
Yeah, but he's got what's his name, Sorchek, is it, there to help him out in that kind of Calvin role? Yeah, that guy in the kind of Calvin role for that Calvin plays for England. Like
he plays further forward. There. He plays further forward, and do you know what? Some of the Opta stats that came out today, he's covered more ground in the league this season than any other player.
Declan Rice.
Who was?
Souček.
Oh, right, yeah. Well, like that.
Yeah. That really surprised me. To
be fair, one stride of his is like fucking 100 of anybody else's.
That's true. He's a giant.
Like 200 of Jay's.
I'm waiting for that. I mean, I was shocked when the first thing that he said, to be honest with you. I thought,
he's been for beers in Bradford. He's absolutely fuming.
Leave me alone.
So I think a good coach overcomes Calvin, the deficit of losing Calvin, in much better fashion.
Whoa. Leeds struggle without Calvin. So what are you trying to say?
That's exactly what he's saying.
We still try and play the same way.
We do struggle without Calvin. Anybody struggles without Calvin was the point. But I think when you line up against Hungary, you shouldn't miss one single player that badly. And I think that when you're lining up with that array of talent, I mean, Foden himself should be beating them on his own. He's that good.
Right. You're right.
For me, I think the manager's got to shoulder a lot of the blame for that. And do you know what? He's a good man. I think he will. I don't think he's good enough for the job.
Well, we were about this on the radio, and they were saying, "Oh, well, he's got us to finals and things like that. We won't get in there before." But I think that's in spite of him, not because of him.
We should have been winning that We should have been winning that final.
Yeah, too right, against Cal's fucking bunch of idiots. You know what I mean? We should have had him.
There's no reason.
I don't bring up your hurt at all. Like, I don't do it. You do all this. Like, I just sit here and stay quiet. Like.
Mate, we're England fans. That's what we do. We just mull over the bullshit that we've been through. Can
somebody put subtitles on the Irish guy at the bottom,
please? Hold on, I've got a pen and paper here.
Help me. Help.
It's not Love Actually, Carl. Come on.
Yeah.
So, moving on. I'm afraid I don't have a video clip prepared for this. I'll pause that. That's terrible, isn't it? So, modelled by myself tonight, but equally, just to prove that it is a different one. Higher. We will be, and it is an original one. I can't go higher because then it'll be off my camera because of my green screen. It is an original.
Vanished. It just vanished.
And it might have been won, it might not have been. I won it on a competition on Twitter as well, so I'm sharing the love.
No, you kept the one that you won. You're giving this one away. It's yours.
Is that right?
That's it.
All right, yeah. All right, yeah.
You're
That
paying it
home
on.
one way or another.
So if you keep an eye out, it'll be out tonight. So if you keep an eye out, it'll be the standard. Go and click on our likes on Twitter and subscribe on YouTube and follow and do all that malarkey. So it'll be the standard stuff. Right, so we'll come on to the next element of the show. Jay, I'll be coming to you just after a nice little interlude.
Twitter poll results.
And I did say a little. There we go. Right, so we did have a poll out, Jay. So over to you if you can, please.
Yep.
Just before you do, Jed, don't you think we need like a guy sat smoking in a jazz club after that little interlude? Just going.
Okay.
Turn around and go. Time for the poll.
Time for the Twitter poll.
I can do that. That's fine.
Tom Waits.
Well, without further ado.
Twitter poll.
Right, so yeah, well, we did do a Twitter poll. That was yesterday, and we had 4 options on there, as usual. First one was selection headache, regarding sort of there's players who've done well recently, there's players coming back from injury, you know, who deserves to be in the team, do we swap people about? We had Bamford's England chances, is he going to get another go? You know, who knows? Keeping all the KP and Rafinha, and we had, have we turned the corner yet? So the winner with a big margin, actually, was keeping hold of KP and Raf. So what we're saying, boys, is it going to be a challenge? Are we going to be all right? Are they going to get their heads turned or what?
I think we need to get over the fact that we're not, you know, some of our fans are a little, I mean, I don't want to say pathetic, but we've got to stop. We've got to stop with that small club selling to teams like Norwich and Burnley mentality. We're not that same team anymore. Yeah. We've got a fucking good owner at the moment, and we've got good foundations in you know, in the coaching staff with Bielsa, in the club and the way the infrastructure at the club at the moment. We don't have to sell. We've got enough money to pay their wages. You know, at the moment they've got big contracts. And they're Leeds United players. It's not a case of us hanging on to them if a big club wants them. It's if it's holding that player back from their aspirations and dreams now.
Yeah.
KP, for me, will not want to leave Leeds United. I don't think. From the personality, the understanding, and the videos I've seen, I think Scotty, the Irish fella, when he spoke to Calvin a couple of years back and spoke about Manchester United and all that sort of stuff, he's Leeds through and through. He said his nan wouldn't let him, his family wouldn't let him ever leave. But ultimately, if we're not going to be playing in the highest level of competition, who are we to hold somebody back from fulfilling their full potential? For me, so yeah, how can we hold on to him? Absolutely. I suppose it goes on the dream that Orta and Rads and Bielsa are selling to the current crop of players. I think they're selling the dream that we will be playing European football in a few years' time, and I think they'd both be comfortable to wait and see how that progresses over at least the next year or two.
I think they're both young enough to give another couple of years before worrying about anything like that. My only worry really is, like, especially with KP, when he's going to the England squad and they're all talking about, oh, we played these, and, you know, they're all on about how they played in the Champions League, and how long before he starts thinking, I want a piece of that, I should be doing this. I'm as good as, if not better than these players, you know. It's where does his love for Leeds and the ambition overlap?
Yeah, I don't see him as that type of player. I think if he could play in Europe, he obviously said that he'd love to be playing Europa League or Champions League over the next few years, and ideally with Leeds. If the owners and the team, the directors and everything are selling that dream that actually we're going to build really well in the summer, we're going to be pushing for, you know, this year's probably out. We'll be out. Let's be honest. We're probably not going to be pushing the European spots this year, unless there's a massive turnaround of results and we start picking up points where we shouldn't. But certainly over the next year or two, if we spend a bit of money in the summer, I can't see why. There's some bang average teams in that league. Some real bang average teams.
Yeah, definitely.
But on the other hand, there seems to be, you know, the other teams are real. Really pulling away. That, you know, there's one or two in there that are going to be spending quite a lot of money, and I think they're going to be really, really difficult to catch over the next few years.
At least I'm fucking here, mate. Where are you?
So yeah, ultimately, long and short is, can we keep hold of him? For me, yeah. Will we? Probably. But we've got to match their ambition in terms of playing a good standard European football moving forward.
Do you think Calvin's just happy to be playing football and playing for Leeds? He's not bothered beyond that, and what happens is a bonus, or do you think he's going to get ambition and want to?
We've all got ambition. Do you know? We all get put in a position where you almost outgrow your role, whether it be at work or whether it be in your local football team or whatever. But he's going to be an ambitious kid. He's good enough. Do you know what I mean? He's going to be looking, like you say, in that England squad. He's going to be looking to the side of him and seeing. But look at Declan Rice. He's there's been talk of him going. He's stuck still with West Ham, and they've built and they're playing some real good football, and they've invested well, bought some good players, and they're improving. So if you look at it like that, then absolutely. But I think we'll. I think he's happy playing football for Leeds, but ultimately he wants to be testing himself at the top, as any good player would.
You think so?
I agree with that. I think, the two very different players as well. And if you look at Rafinha's career early on in his career, he struggled. He wasn't picked out as being a particularly good footballer. He wasn't picked out as being a strong one, and he ended up in that. I don't know if you've read any of his backstory, but he ended up in them street games rather than being in the formal games, and had to fight his way through. So he's come through all of that early on in his life, and then he's changed continents, and he's moved around clubs. I think if our ambitions match in the short term, I think we'll see him stay for maybe a couple of years. But I don't necessarily see him staying. He's not going to stay with us for the rest of his career. I don't think. His trajectory is sky high now. If you look at the way that, I know he's only had short appearances for Brazil, but just looking at that and the impact it can have for Brazil, come on, we're used to looking at them and expecting them to be the entertainers, and our players coming on and being best player on park. It's amazing. It's unreal, isn't it?
Worrying thing is when you look at the rest of the Brazil team and you look at the clubs that the rest of the players play for, you think, how long can we keep him?
Go on.
I think it is slightly different with Raf. I think it is.
Yeah.
But he doesn't have that Calvin's
and I think Calvin's only 25, isn't he? So the scary thing about that is 2-3 years until he peaks.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely.
So
he can afford to give us that few years, because there'll still be a move on for him if he needs to move.
I think with the way it's going now on the transfer or the contract talk with him, I think he knows what he's doing. He's going to do it. It'll happen the way it happened with Grealish. He'll sign a new contract, give us another season. If we finish high enough the season after this, then there's every possibility he can stay. He would stay. So if we finish well this year, I'm giving an answer, not a question. You used to be lunatic. I've been waffling on there.
I'm waiting for you to talk to do that.
I'll get a comment now in a minute going, why is Carl so fucking quiet tonight, or something Lindsay, or some shit like that. I can't get a fucking word in edgeways anyway. So I think if we finish high up this year, if we show good progression this year, we'll get next year out of him as well. And if we keep progressing, there'll be no need for him to leave. Calvin, I'm saying, and the same potentially for Raf. He's what do we pay, 4 or 5 year contract we got Raf on, and it's only his second year. I can only imagine they're going to offer him another contract in January, like they will with Calvin. You know what I mean? So I think
they're going to have to.
We as a club, we need to progress, like you were saying, Luke, the trajectory that the players feel we should be progressing at. And if that happens, this conversation's redundant.
Absolutely.
And I think we are showing areas where we are, this season started off a little slow, but look, at the end of the day, it's the Premier League. You know what I mean? We can't expect to hit the ground running like we did in the Championship or last season, every season. You know what I mean? I know it took us 7 games to get a win, but that win's under our belt now. This is just build from there. It looks like all the players are coming back now from international duty uninjured, and everything seems to be cushy. Like, so I think as long as we progress at a nice rate that we're doing at the moment, I think this conversation won't ever happen again.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and I think it does come back to that thing, isn't it? It's matching the ambitions. And if you can match the ambitions of your player in as much as how you're building and how you're progressing, but a player's, a club's lifespan is exponential, whereas a player's lifespan in the sport is not. So they've got to reflect on that. And going back to what Luke said, you're holding back a player that wants to play at the highest level if we're not achieving that. Yeah. I also want to see. I don't ever want us to line up against him in English football.
Yeah,
but if he went abroad and played for Real or Barca or somebody at that level, to go and win things, go and win silverware. I mean, Barca won't be able to afford him, will they? But you know where I'm going from.
Just on that, just on affordability. This new contract, Phil Hay seems to. I think, Mark, I could be wrong. Please correct me if I am. I think Phil Hay quoted that there's likely to be a release clause.
I've not seen that from Phil.
No, I've not seen that. I did.
Might not have been from Phil. I might be lying. But I've definitely seen it somewhere, and I'm pretty sure that I've seen it around the 100 million mark or something. And I don't know where or why I've heard it, but it's definitely something that I've seen knocking about. So I mean, surely we'd be happy with 100 million, but we'd have to be stupid not to. Do you know what I mean?
Depends where. I don't care how much they're paying. If he goes to Scum, I'm going to hate the fact.
Yeah,
and I know that we talked about his family and all of that sort of stuff, but still.
Just because a release clause is met doesn't mean he has to go. It just means that the club has
to not to. Yeah,
he can say no, not for me.
I think you're right, Gilly, in what you said, that he's doing the right thing. Or it might not be you, Gilly, but whoever we're signing this new contract, it might be you, Carl. He's doing the right thing by the club in that he's going to make the club a lot of money if he does go and does move on. The club are going to be financially well off from the deal.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd hate to see him go. He's pivotal. He's everyone's favourite lad. You know what I mean? Everyone wants to be his best mate, his brother. He's so likeable. He's a real character. And I think he not just his football, but everything about him sort of benefits Leeds United and the side before self and everything. So, go on, Carl. Open it.
Storm, I went on mute, so I didn't wreck Gilly's chops.
Okay, no, that's fair enough. I think all of that makes sense. I've just had a very quick look. I can't see anything from Phil, but it could have been Phil being quoted, I suppose.
I did see Phil say that Calvin was going to be level par with the highest earners at the club. I did see that. Phil did say that. Now I did see that. That he thinks he will.
I mean, he should be higher than him, really, shouldn't he?
But what's the highest earner on at our club? Like, we don't know. We don't know what the highest earner's on.
I reckon
we don't, but I think the highest earner might be Rodrigo.
And what would he be on? Like 100k a week? 80k a week?
I think 80k.
80k is still a whack load of cash from what he was getting 3 years ago in the championship.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
And I don't personally see that he's necessarily driven by money either.
No, I don't think so either. I think it's just a love of playing football, really.
Yeah,
I'm just hoping that they don't give him a matched highest earner clause, because, like, when we sign Haaland next summer on his release fee, we're going to have to give him a large wage, and that could jeopardise that. Do you know what I mean?
No, I'd be happy to give Calvin the same amount. It's not my cash.
Yeah.
Calvin and Haaland are both wearing it. Perfect.
Yeah.
The only thing
kind of is you buy tickets.
On this release clause is fucking quoted from Gabby Bonlahor so far. And it's definitely not him, because this is 60 million. I swear I heard 100 million or read 100 million. I'll try and find it. I'll tweet it out from the.
There's absolutely no way Rads or the 49ers or even bleeding Victor or Bielsa would let him go for less than 100 million. There's no way in fucking hell. Rich people aren't rich because they're stupid with money.
Exactly.
That's the thing.
They're rich because they're corrupt and dishonest. But
right, okay.
Yeah. So I just think we'll be fine. Just keep going.
Is Luke frozen, or is he just eyeballing me?
No, he's just concentrating.
He's looking for something on the internet.
Can't you smell that burning?
I'm just looking because I know we've moved over from Periscope recently to Twitter, but that's why we're not getting many comments because you can't comment directly on Twitter now from Twitter apparently. So if anybody does want to comment, you'll have to log into and follow us on YouTube.
On the YouTube. Why isn't
YouTube?
Anyway, we'll discuss that later.
Thanks, lads.
I tell you what, though, one thing I have said, and I hope it doesn't happen with Rafinha, this Newcastle takeover, I can see him being exactly the type of player that they will go for. No, I can't.
Shut up, Jay.
I can see him making. No, I can see him making an attempt.
He's not going to go there.
No, he probably won't, Carl. But I can see them making a bid for him because what you got to remember is he's proven in the Premier League now. He's absolute top quality, and he doesn't need tempting away from London. He already plays at Northern club. So from a trying to get a top player and get him settled perspective, he's exactly the kind of player they should be going for. But I hope that they don't.
They're going to go for half the fucking Premier League, them lads.
Well, do you know, along the same vein, I think Coutinho might be a player that they go for.
I think so. I think
somebody towards the end of their career, somebody that's played in England, somebody who's a known name, and he's played at good levels, and it'll cost a lot of money, but they're not going to be saddled with him for years on a stupidly high wage because he's going to retire.
He's already been happy to live in a northern shithole, so he's proven that he'll do that.
There you go.
So, players of that ilk, he would be Newcastle's version of Robinho, wouldn't he? When Man City couldn't get the draw in, and that first player of a certain level to come in and show other players, we are taking it seriously. We are gonna sign good players, and join us, and then Robinho went back to Italy, I think.
I think Newcastle's going to be very scattergun approach, just like when Abramovich came in at Chelsea, where he just bought nibbles. When he just bought 12 players or something straight off the bat, spending.
Oh, you mean like when Otto joined Leeds?
Yeah, but I'm saying as in
we signed 25 players in one close season.
Yeah, but we didn't spend even close to what one player Chelsea bought that time. So what I'm saying is the amount of cash that they're going to pay will be silly, because they're going to want to make a load of them kind of signings really quickly to keep the fans happy. And I think
brings Zlatan back or something.
Don't start me on fucking Newcastle fans. I've had it up to here with him.
Anyway,
I've been arguing that many of them.
This is a Leeds podcast. Fuck it.
Been getting angry this week, haven't you, Gilly?
I have. Bastards. Fucking jumped up, spoiled.
Jay, even though you look like an overweight retired Gaza, this is not a Newcastle podcast.
Well, I've got that level of genius.
Or to know better, excited to announce a new partnership. 3 Retro is the retro football shop. 3 Retro was born from the love of the game, from historical nights on the Cold Terrace, and from the love of vintage shirts of a bygone era. Find the referral link and discount code in our social media accounts and in the comments and descriptions of How to Know Better podcast recordings for a 10% discount on the full range.
Hello. Right, so I needed that little break. I needed that little break so that I could cut you guys off from fighting. So we'll move forward.
We weren't fighting. Jay only fights females.
We'll look ahead.
You couldn't fight away on paper bag, you bald twat.
And we'll look at the upcoming Leeds game. So we are going to be playing Southampton. And one thing that I have noticed while I was just looking for Phil Hayes' possible comments was we do still expect Rafinha to be available for the game.
Yeah.
Now, he's playing on the Friday. That can't be good for him.
They're ahead of us in Argentina, aren't they?
No, they're behind us.
Or in Brazil. Behind, aren't they?
Is he going to just fly into London and then drive straight there and get on?
Sun goes like that. and it goes from us over to them. We do it in Mexico way. No, it's not in Mexico.
I don't know why I even said Argentina. He's fucking Brazilian.
It's because it's all the same to you, isn't it, Carl?
They are playing Uruguay, Carl, but they're still not Argentina.
No.
It can't be racist. He's Irish.
Yeah, he comes from Argentina.
Anyway, we look at Southampton. Just a few stats for you. So, interestingly, although I hated playing them because it seems that they beat us all the time when we were outside the Premier League. We did double over them last season, and we haven't beaten in the Premier League a side more than we've beaten Southampton.
Really?
14 wins in the Premier League against Southampton.
fantastic.
There's no other side that we've enjoyed as many wins against in the Premier League.
Say that you feel like every time we play them that we're going to lose, and we've
when we were outside the Premier League.
Excuse me,
Because they were down there with us, weren't they? So between 2006 and 2012, I think we played them 6 times, and I don't think we beat them. But in the Premier League, we've enjoyed a lot of success, and we did double over them last season. So it should, it bodes well. I don't want to go too far.
They're shite this season, though, aren't they? They're even worse this season than they were last.
Well,
I think.
They are. So there's a couple of things. So overall in the Premier League, we've played them 26 times. We've won 14. They've only won 5. We've scored 35 goals to their 15, and we've had 16 clean sheets to their 7. That's quite sizable differences. And as you just said, actually, they're so Football Insider. I mean, you can't set much store by Football Insider, but Football Insider says that Southampton's players expect Hasenhüttl to get sacked if they don't win their next 2 games.
The players think that.
Yeah.
I can't see that's true at all.
So you don't know how much you can set store
players
by
are going
that.
to come out and tell some random stooge that we all think that Hasenhüttl's getting sacked. It's like, fuck off.
Yeah,
That's not going to happen.
they talked
All
about
right,
it.
it wasn't me.
No, I know it's not you, but it's just fucking clickbait shite. Like, you know what I mean? Oh, Leeds hamper Hasenhüttl's career. It's like, well, no, the fucking player. It's like, shut up.
You choose some funny stuff to get upset about you, I tell you.
But it just annoys the fuck out of me, because we've got, like Luke said, we've got all our fans losing their shit because some guy puts up a post going, Calvin's going for 60 million. It's like, fucking get a grip.
Have you had a bad day?
I've had a bit of an rough day, yeah.
Could be worse. You could be me.
Oh, Jesus, I'd rather be
That
you
is
today,
worse.
if I'm being perfectly honest. Fucking hell. Anyway, yeah, sorry, Southampton, Gilly. Rabbit Hutch.
Yes. So their next 4 games is us, then Burnley, fine, then Chelsea, Inc. Cup, and then Watford. So actually, if they don't win a couple of those games, then he probably will be well up against it in the sack race.
If they're losing to Burnley and Watford, then he can't fucking argue, can he?
Yeah. So I've thrown some stats out, but Carl, I'm going to come to you. Carl, I'm going to come to you.
Okay.
What are we thinking? How are we feeling about the game?
I'm feeling quietly confident, if I'm being perfectly honest with you. I read that Shea Adams might be out and that James Ward-Prowse got a knock on England duty. So that's their...
Are they their only 2 players?
Well, to be fair, like they're lost without Ward-Prowse, like we're lost without Calvin. But I don't think they have enough in them to be able to account for their main focal in attack being bloody what's his name, Adams, and their main creative midfielder being Prowse being out. I don't think they have enough in their squad to really bother us. Like, but again, I don't know if Ward-Prowse is actually out. Like, but personally, I think we should have them. Like, I do think we should have them. I won't give a score prediction on that, but I do.
I haven't asked you yet.
No, but I know where it's going once I
Have
stop
some more of that
talking.
beer.
You're trying to get me drunk, Gilly. To be fair, like I said, I don't think there's an awful lot in their squad that we would have to worry about if 2 of their main focal points are not in the team. I think we will definitely work McCarthy a lot more than he's been worked, I think, in previous games that he's played this season. And I'm confident enough about this one on Saturday. I just feel that we have a lot more there than they have to offer when they're without 2 players or 3 players or whatever. I think we've more in the tank and more in reserve, especially getting Dan James now as well. Like, we've got 3 of the best wing options, I think, in the Premier League at the moment. Like, And I think we do have a lot, regardless of whether Raf plays or not. I think we've got Dan James, got Jack Harrison. Like, let's not forget Jack Harrison. Like, just because Dan James come along, Jack Harrison was thereabouts for player of the season last year. It was incredible. Like, obviously he had a few off games here and there, like, but every player does. And I just think as a fan base, we should be very confident about getting 3 points on Saturday. Like, I don't see any other outcome, if I'm being perfectly honest.
Good. Well, we'll see that in your predictions, Luke.
No, you won't.
So, Carl's touched upon players out for Southampton. So, we had the option in there in the poll. I know that we didn't that wasn't a winner, so we won't go too far into it. But in terms of selection headaches and so on, how do you see us lining up?
Difficult, isn't it? We look to have a relatively full squad, not too many injuries and things at the moment. So it's sort of who do you miss out at the moment? I think Aylin's obviously still out. I think so. We're looking at Aylin's still out, isn't he? He must be.
I haven't
I
heard.
believe so.
He was having minor surgery, wasn't he?
Ankle, was it
not knee? No,
his knee.
I thought it was
minor
was
knee
it?
surgery. Yeah.
6 to 8 weeks though, wasn't it? Which we've
right.
not seen yet, and then he's going to have to get back up to speed.
Yeah,
absolutely. So Shackleton.
Having said that, if Shea Adams is not available and he didn't play for Scotland against the Faroe Islands, if he's not available, then they might only go one up top. But if he is available, they'll play two. And if they play two up top, then Shackleton might miss out anyway because we'll switch to a back three. So we'll see Strike, Cooper, and Llorente playing.
Yeah.
I think that'll be really harsh on him.
But again, Bielsa makes these decisions on tactics rather than anything else. So if we're used to him going to a back three with two up front, then like you said, Gilly, it is unfortunate for Shackleton. I think he's played absolutely fantastic since he's been in there for Ayling, and I don't think he's put a foot wrong in many positions. To be fair,
he's converted me. I won't bother seeing him.
I think so. Like for a guy who's like
Jay was straight before.
Not very.
Didn't stop you trying though, did it, Luke?
I don't try.
Anyway, to be fair, I threw a question at you, Luke, and then I kind of pissed all over your point and took it back. So I'll come back to you in terms of the lineup.
I got red on my top. Look, we did the double over them last season. They haven't had a win this season, I don't think, if I remember rightly. They've also lost a couple of big players since we played them last season. Was Ings there last season?
Ings was there last season, yeah.
Vestergaard as well at the back. Yeah. They've lost a pair of those. So they're arguably, I mean, they've got that, is it Salisu who's the centre-back for them? He probably looks their best player, other than obviously Ward-Prowse. But they're arguably a lot weaker than they were last season where we've actually strengthened. So I can't see anything but a Leeds win. Obviously a tough place to go. It's a long journey down to St Mary's, so that we've got to take that into effect and into consideration. So how do I see it going? I think off the back of international duty, Calvin being rested, we've had quite a few people being rested. Paddy, is he back? Do we know yet? We don't know. I would hope so by now. I know he had a minor injury. He's had a couple of weeks, obviously, to get back to full strength. Rafinha, does he play? For me, probably not. But at least we don't have to have Costa coming in for him. We've got two.
Yeah.
Do you know every cloud and all that? We've got these people who were saying Dan James, we didn't need this winger, we didn't need that, but this sort of game just proves that we did need more depth in that position. So how do we line up then? I think like you say, it depends whether they play two up top or one. But Shackleton starts at right back for me. Obviously, Fairport left back, and then you've got Cooper definitely in there at centre back with Llorente probably. KP, and then I'd say Dallas and Click in midfield, and then Dan James and not Rafinha.
Jackie.
So Jack Harrison comes back in for me, and I think we'll probably go Rodrigo up top, as Paddy's not had much game time over the last few weeks. So that's how I think we'll line up.
I think you're spot on. I think you're absolutely spot on. If we're 4 at the back, I think that's the side.
Yeah.
And for me, I think even if Rafinha is back in time, I think that'll be the side that plays and he'll be on the bench. And it'll be a great option from the bench, but I don't think he'll start.
No.
I can't wait to see him asleep on bench, one of those donut cushions playing around his neck. Just like,
catching up on his jet lag.
Like, you're coming on, Raf. They'll be shaking him. He'll be like, Then he'll come on and score. You have to just been woke up.
Yeah,
but he would as well, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
He just would.
Like, no, whatever happened, it crack on.
Okay, so we've had Carl, we've had Luke. Jay, what's your thoughts on the game?
Well, I think as long as we keep Matt Letizia quiet and we keep one size fits all and David Prutton and Ali Dyer sort of out of the way, I think we'll be all right, to be honest. I think we're better than them.
That is the best nickname in football, by the way.
what?
One size.
One size.
It's brilliant.
Fucking brilliant.
Who's one size?
Fits Hall. One size fits Hall.
Ah, that's fucking
Come on,
brilliant.
Have you never heard that before?
Yeah.
No, man, that's brilliant. One
I
size
give up
fits all.
sometimes.
Hey, don't give up,
He's
man.
going
You're
to be
funny
chuckling about that
sometimes.
all night. And
Damning with faint praise. No, you are funny sometimes.
He's going to be getting to bed later and he's going to remember that and start going, one size fits
I'll
all.
just be giggling to myself.
Bruce will just be staring at him like, what the fuck's wrong with you?
Fucking retard. Go to sleep.
Get me some beer.
He's trying to hear us still on the carpet earlier. Good job of getting new carpet next week, so it's all good. Fuck.
There you go. But in all seriousness, I can't see us losing to them. Famous last words, but I don't. They're a funny side in that, like, well, this weird small building fuckers managed them. They've had some good results. Do you know what I mean? Like they've done good things. Like he cried when they beat Liverpool. Do you remember? But then, like, I bet he cried when they got beat 9-0 as well. So, you know, they're just the one end to the other. You don't know what's going to happen, do you? On a consistency basis, they're mainly crap. Yeah, I know, mate. That's what makes it magical. They're generally crap, but they have shown that they're capable of pulling off a shock result now and then. I think we'll beat them. I don't think it'll be a big problem.
Not this season. They haven't won one.
No, they have won one. They beat Newport in the Carabao Cup 8-0.
Yeah, they did better than we did then against them.
And to be fair to them, they did get a draw against City.
And Scum.
Yeah.
All I can say is, I think we'll beat them. I think they're shit. I'm glad we didn't sign Adams.
In the last minute.
No, 1-1.
Right. But yeah, draw against West Ham. Draw against City.
He hasn't asked me a prediction, just slow down.
That's all right. We are coming on to that now.
It's a segue.
I don't know. So, Carl. What did you say, Carl?
Fuck all.
It were good.
I got 3-0 leads, Jay.
Yeah.
I will come round. So, Luke, where are we going?
I'll go 2-0 leads.
Oh, do you know what?
Auto no better predictions.
I'm going 2-0 leads.
Because I forgot. We're going 2-0.
Amateur giddy. What the?
I know.
Auto no better predictions.
I'm going 2-0 leads.
What's he doing now?
He's gone power mad.
That lunatic doing it there, wasn't it?
Power mad.
I'm not touching.
Right, okay. So, anybody that wants to comment, fastest finger first. We want a fan's prediction. So, if you get one in before the end of the recording, then we'll capture that. And I've already written mine down. I've gone 3-1 leads. I don't think it'll be a clean sheet. I do think it'll be. What's that?
Auto no better predictions.
I'm going 2-0 leads.
It's off you. I've done something wrong then. Cheers,
I'll have
guys.
3-0.
I said fuck all.
Nice, dude. What? A white hole? That fucking red dwarf. Right, okay, so
Sign the prediction again.
we'll move on to everybody's favourite part of the show.
The hot topic.
Do you know
You're
what?
getting the hang of this now, Gilly.
Do you know what? The hot topic, it's sort of fucking doing my head in now. I think I've fucking had enough of it.
Do you know what? That's because you keep going wrong answer.
Yeah.
No, but you don't think it's course. Do you think we need to replace the Hawk with somebody else for like?
No.
I just think I've said enough about him. I'm just fed up of talk. I'm fed up of talking about him being a nonce.
Views are of individuals and not of the podcast as a whole.
Oh, God.
Carl, I'm going to come to you.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
On the one hand, we have a small house for rabbits, and on the other, we have the future of English football in Gloucester and Stroud College. Where are we going?
I've no rabbits, so I don't need a house. So I think I'd just go with the Hawk, if I'm being perfectly honest with you. I think the fact that he had the balls to take the job in the first place. you got to give him credit for that. That's flying by the seat of your pants. He should just win this Hawk topic every week just because of that. I'm not joking. Like, that's like me going for a HGV fucking driver's job and not knowing a thing about HGV driving. Not a sausage. So
It's like when Gilly got his current job.
He's got my back. Shit, Gilly, man.
So,
I'm going
well,
Charles gone the Hawk.
In light of what Luke said, I mean, I can only back the guy that is well known for nurturing young boys, so I'm going with the Hawk.
I thought you were going to say Luke there for a second.
Hey, you're the Catholic Irishman.
That's got nothing to do with it, man.
Moving swiftly on. Right. Luke, please don't make me try and have to spell Hasenhüttl. Can you give me an answer, please?
Yeah, obviously, just to save you from spelling Hasenhüttl, I'm going to go. And as a public apology to the Hawk, I'd just like to say that we don't really think you're a nonce just because you work in a school. That's just our level of maturity on this podcast. It's just a joke, mate. But if you do want to fight about it, and you know where I am.
I'm still picking the Hawk.
Charity boxing match.
Yeah, so I'm going to go for. Actually, fuck you. I'm off for Hasenhüttl.
Oh, motherfucker!
Wallaber.
I'm not. I haven't spelled that right. I know I haven't spelled that right. But
HASENHUTTL.
Oh, one S.
Definitely double S. Definitely double S.
It's not double. Definitely WS. I've got it up on my screen. You dope.
Only one.
That's wrong.
I definitely got that wrong.
I think it's Hasenhüttl.
Fair enough.
Yeah. No. Double T.
Sounds like a German fucking dessert.
Put the rabbit in the Hasenhüttl.
Right. Without looking, Jay, without looking, just have a go at spelling it, and I'll tell you how fucking wrong you are.
All right. Well, seeing as you've said that, I'm going to go with HASENHUTL.
He's still got it wrong.
I told you it was double T.
Oh, fucking hell, Gilly.
Well, I was going to go double T because he fucking said it.
It was on the top of me.
Go on then.
I'm not doing it again.
Go on.
Fucking echo in
Let's
here.
hear you. Let's hear you. Spell Hasenhüttl.
HASEN.
Yeah.
HUTT. Eddie.
Yeah.
No, I don't think there is any on the end, is there?
There's no E at all.
No.
Is it an umlaut? That's no, an umlaut's like a little hat on top of the. What's the dot?
Fuck off, Gilly. We don't care.
Dickhead. Anyway, I've gone the Hawk, which means the Hawks won despite Luke making his spell.
Yay.
Go on, the
Hasenhüttl. So unless we've done the predictions, unless anybody we haven't had a fan prediction in, have we yet?
No, we'll get one then. But just before we do go,
comment on Twitter, can they? So
just before we do go, I don't know, Carl, if you want to mention about this training thing that you're doing on Saturday.
Jesus Christ. I'm doing a coaching on Saturday.
You've got him cold there.
You know, the reason I mentioned it is because we're obviously playing. Phil Miles has arranged a charity football tournament which us guys are taking part in. I think he's done it on behalf of All Leeds TV. There's going to be All Leeds TV there. Joe Wayman, Rod Christopher, God, everybody who's anybody. Burley Banksy, Stats is going to be there. Andy Cousins and a few others. We're hoping to have Simon Johnson as our ringer. All the teams are mixed.
He's part of our pod.
Well,
No,
yeah.
it's not
I mean,
football ringer.
but yeah, we're just trying to raise some money for the LUFC Foundation. I think it's all in aid of. So yeah, we're going to be probably posting a little bit and more about that over the next few weeks, because I believe it takes place on the 13th of November, 10th of November, or something.
12th
of November. So you'll probably see a few posts. If you can contribute, please do. It just means we have to pay less on the day for playing.
We're not tight. Swear to God.
You are. You still owe me £11.50. I had to go around to Jay's and actually get a plunger on him to get the money off him. He owed me last time. I had to go around and just sit on him with a plunger for like 5 minutes.
Listen, mate, life's not easy when you skin.
Man, how did you do that? Like, did he not vanish underneath it? No.
Funnily enough, mate.
Do you know what, Carl? Do you know what?
Look,
it was a magic trick.
He's there. He's gone.
Do you know what? You can tell it's first one back after a while, can't you?
Yeah,
absolutely.
How to make dopey disappear.
I didn't think
right. So
Anyway.
Luke's had his additional comment. So Carl,
he's always got an additional comment.
Says Jay, diving in while I'm talking with an additional comment.
Wanker.
Yes, agreed. It was great to hear from Jimmy. Do we know when we're going to be hearing from him again?
We're going to do it. I think we're just going to do it after every game.
Every game, excellent.
Yeah, there's no point waiting after 2 games. It's too long. People want to see Jimmy. They want to find out.
Of course, it is.
So
he's a legend.
we do it after every game. It'll probably be the day after every main pod and go from there. So he'll be on Wednesday. Day after main. Any shy talk that we come up with on the Wednesday, we can put to Jimmy on the Tuesday. We can put to Jimmy on the Wednesday.
I'll tell you what, Cal, I absolutely love when changes are announced live. You know, we've not had any discussion and nobody knows that things are changing, but now everybody knows. And
man, that was completely off the bat. I just decided that right there.
You're like a genius, man. You're a genius.
Fucking
You've been decisive. That's all it is.
Yeah.
So other than that, we'll have an Hammer Statman. I think Friday night.
Is it Friday?
I think so.
Morning?
We'll put. I think Stats is doing that Friday night. We might have a Lukic on Saturday morning and a look around the fixtures. We'll have a B&C after the game. We will this time, yeah.
It's an away game.
It's an away game. It'll be fine.
I go away for a weekend and everything. Nobody can fucking do anything. It's just fucking carnage, isn't it? I go on the pitch for one weekend.
You were with us.
Right, we're going to leave it there. So just remember, everybody, keep an eye out for the upcoming competition where you can win a genuine Leeds top classic from the Champions League days, and it'll tell you how to get involved. We'll get out tonight, and thank you everybody for listening, watching, taking part. Thanks everybody. Thanks to you guys for being involved tonight, and away we go.